What is up, crypto hackers? Welcome back to another episode of Hack Crypto, where we hack our cryptocurrency, blockchain, NFT, and metaverse education. If you guys are brand new here, I love to cover the basics of everything that is Web3. And if that sounds good to you, smash that subscribe button, hit the like, and turn notifications on for weekly videos. Now, in this episode, I'm going to be going over my top 5 favorite new and upcoming virtual worlds. Now, in order to kind of be included in this category, it has to be built on chain. Primarily, there's Solana, there's Ethereum, there's a lot of different chains out there, Cardano, that people are trying to build virtual worlds on top of. So this list of 5 virtual worlds is focused only on Ethereum and also Solana. And the reason here is that Ethereum has a couple L2s out there that games are using, like Polygon, with your sandbox and your Decentraland, moving everything over to Polygon. And also there is Solana that has, literally the L1 itself that can do a lot of transactions. This is my kind of up and coming video here, where I've already talked about Sandbox, Decentraland, and some of these virtual worlds, but these are the newer ones, the ones that I have been researching over the last few months. Some of them are pre-launch, some of them have some products out there, but I wanted to just go over the ones that I'm looking at and that I'm really excited about, and I want to share with you guys so you guys can check them out as well. This is not a sponsored video or anything like that. I just wanted to show you guys the 5 coolest ones that I'm really eager to get my hands on, and also learn more about the building aspect of it, because as you guys know, I started the company Sandstorm, and it is entirely focused on supporting builders of the metaverse and connecting them with brands. So I think that with these new virtual worlds, the ones that I'm about to talk about, there's a lot of emphasis on creators and builders in there. So there is something that we can do to help them out along the way. The first metaverse I want to talk about is Space. This is really trying to be like a 3D virtual storefront. I got to meet the founder and a couple of people on the team actually in New York for NFT NYC. Had a meeting about, interoperability and whatnot. So they're really trying to kind of lean into this narrative of a Shopify virtual experience where I can set up a gallery and people can come to my site and experience it in a virtual setting. It was really fun to kind of talk through how this is going to happen. You can list products, and he kind of walked us through the inventory system and how that works and how you can get immersed in this little experience and be able to actually purchase goods. So very cool concept. I like that this is taking the place for commerce. I think that's a multi-trillion-dollar space of where things are headed. When you have things like Walmart coming into the picture and they're trying to have people shop virtually and purchase goods and have them delivered right to their door, I think there's so much untapped potential here. So Space Metaverse is definitely the first one that I wanted to talk about. The next one is Network. Now, it's kind of like this funny way of pronouncing it, but I pronounce it Network. And the founder, I got to meet with him personally in NFT NYC, and we talked a lot about hyper-realistic metaverses and how builders can get involved, the different brands that are getting involved, hyper-realistic versus Vox with something like a Sandbox or a Voxels. Really fun conversation around it, and I was really interested to see how the hyper-realistic aspect actually looks. So if you go to their site, you can check out all the information that they have there about, what they're building on with Unreal and things like that. Hyper-realistic is coming into the picture a lot faster than a lot of people think, and they are rolling out very soon, and they already have like a token, I believe, a lot of details on their site. And I'm really interested to see how builders can get involved there. The cool thing about Network is that you can buy ad space, almost like billboards. You can create NFTs, and you can buy land. And I know a lot of people that are watching this video are very curious about buying virtual real estate. So I am going to mention when you can purchase real estate, not financial advice by any means. Next up, we have Spatial. And this is a really cool metaverse because it has a real emphasis on experiences. And that is, galleries, events, all these really interesting partnerships that they've rolled out, like with OpenSea. And they've done a really fantastic job of rolling this out through heavy hitters in this space. space. There is an interesting component here that I haven't seen yet in other metaverses, which is a paid subscription. Now, it's brilliant from a business perspective, but it is, a free tier that you can go in and experience around all these different events and curated galleries and things like that. But they do have a $25 a month pro option where people can literally pay Spatial directly and they can kind of control their own experience. And I'm imagining you can customize it a little bit more than what the free account would allow you to do. But it is a very clever way. And they have special event options, almost like an enterprise tier where you can go to them and say, hey, I need a fully customized experience. And this is a really cool option because you have tools as a host and you are able to actually deploy, your own little virtual experience. And I think that this is empowering to creators. So it is very exciting to see different business models coming out from the actual business side for creators. So giving them more tools that they're actually paying for is smart. Now, there is a little bit of a difference between some of these larger ones like the sandboxes and the Decentralands where it's free to get involved. They're really banking on the value of the token and play to earn and things like that within the game. So it is really interesting to see this sort of upfront payment business model. So we'll see how that plays out. Really curious to see all these different models coming into the picture. These are big experiments. Everybody should know that everybody is new to this. Everybody is experimenting and figuring out what's going to work, what people are most interested in, and what's going to attract the most users. And one thing Spatial has done really well is tooling and an emphasis on tooling for all the creators. Now, putting a paywall there, jury's out on if that's going to be really receptive to the creators and builders out there. But I do think that it's important to emphasize the fact that they are getting tools. That is very key with any of these virtual worlds. Tools are very important to have the creators actually build experiences, or else it's just a graveyard across all the metaverse. Next up, we have portals. And this is a really fun one because it's a focus on cities and like very dense populated areas. It is a browser-based metaverse. Very excited for what they've been doing. And this one is based on Solana. They have some pretty heavy-hitting partners like Audius, FTX, Binance, and they're creating these pretty cool downtown experiences. And they're almost like this all-encompassing package that you can get, and you can customize them. They have build partners, including Grow Your Base, a company that I co-founded many years ago. And it's very cool to see how these are actually laid out. And I will be leaving the link to all of these metaverses below. I am really curious of how it's going to play out because a lot of people love Solana. A lot of people don't like Solana and hate them or love them. It is very cool to see these types of virtual worlds being built on it. I think that says a lot. The last, but most certainly not least, is Wilder World. Now, this one came across my radar a couple months back, and it is hyper real. Now, this was something that I talked to the founder of Network about. He asked me what I liked about Wilder World, and they just have done such an incredible job with their graphics and their video and everything. It just looks so like a shock factor. And they have a token and they have like the price right there on their homepage. And it is a 5D metaverse. Now, I'm not really 100% sure on if 5D just means that you're actually immersed in a 3D environment, but it is built on Ethereum, Unreal Engine 5, and something called Zero. So really cool trailer. You guys can check that out with a link in the description. But I am really fascinated by this hyper-realistic concept of the metaverse, because you can create an avatar that looks like yourself. You can really get involved in something that arguably may blur the lines between your current reality physically and your virtual reality. But I am really bullish on the hyper-realistic metaverses. I think they're very cool. I think the building is where I'm really focused right now, on the builders and how they're going to be able to actually implement this and deploy experiences in a realistic metaverse, what the time of education is going to take for that. But really interested to see that they have land. That's another one that you can purchase land in. And it is very exciting to see all the different types of guilds and the different beasts and kicks and cars and everything that they have in there. But that is it for my top 5 favorite metaverses that are up and coming. And these are things to follow. You don't have to get involved in them, but I definitely recommend checking them out because there's just a lot of activity going on here. That is Space, is the first metaverse. Network is the second one. Spatial is the third one. Portals is the fourth one. And Wilder World is the fifth one. All 5 are fantastic. All 5 are worth checking out. And that is it for this video. Slap a like if you like this video. Definitely let me know what you think about all these virtual worlds in the comment section. And I will see you guys on the next episode here on Hack Crypto.